All right, let's take a break from our topics and go into our SMX medical update. We have the good doctor, Dr. Joe McGinley, with us. We're going to talk collarbones, which are almost always a hot topic in the world of SMX, but specifically Nate Thrasher, who has seemingly been out forever with a collarbone injury, which I think, Joe, most people are going to say, why is it taking so long? So explain why it's different one rider to another.
Yeah, collarbone or clavicle fractures are frequent in motocross racing. I've seen it probably in most riders that have come out to our clinic at some point in their career. They've had a broken clavicle. We saw Joe Shimoda just fractured his recently. Everyone has heard about Cody Schock in the Supercross season when he injured his and was back a week later. Nate Thrasher's a little bit different. He came out to see me. We treated him for arm pump, and when he was out here, we took a look at his shoulder. It was bothering him. He had a practice crash earlier that week. When we got the x-rays of the shoulder, we'll show you here in a second, it was a very surprising finding. He re-injured that clavicle, and he already had two plates. So those plates are bent almost at 90 degrees, and he re-injured that clavicle. So a bit different situation having prior surgeries and then re-injuring the clavicle.
But what are you advising them? Like, hey, this can go wrong. These are the things that you need to be worried about rushing this.
With Nate Thrasher, different situation. He had two prior clavicle fractures and two prior surgeries, and you saw in that x-ray there were two plates on that bone. Unfortunately, he developed a very low-lying infection along that fracture site, so the bone actually never healed. So his clavicle was solely being held together by those plates. Then when he wrecked in that practice crash, those plates bent, and he had to go back in for a much more significant surgery to remove that hardware, get everything realigned and cleaned up. And then unfortunately, he was on antibiotics afterwards to try to clear out that infection.